Hello, and welcome to today's edition of Mama's Got Style, how upgrading your look will elevate your business, get you high-paying clients, and increase the fun factor in your life. I'm Allan, and I'll be your host today. Today, we are actually speaking with Jen Hecht, who is the CEO of the Dating Advisory Board. Hey, Jen.
Hey, Kara. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, thanks for coming. I think it's just such an awesome topic, and you are a great example of a mama with style, for sure.
Thank you. I try on the daily.
So tell us a little bit about you and your business and how style is integrating into your life.
Sure. So, I'm Jen Hecht. I'm originally from Michigan, so I am a Midwest girl at heart, and clearly there are a lot of layers growing up. So but when I moved down to DC, I played tennis in college, and I was nationally ranked. I did not go pro. I had an injury, shoulder injury, so I wasn't able to go. But that did help shape me and be very not competitive, but just wanting to do well in business and taking the same attributes that I learned on the tennis court and applying them in business. And I became I got in sales and marketing. Worked for a telecom company for 12 years. Started the dating advisory board after my divorce, and I thought, wow, I'm like, there's got to be a better way. I mean, this whole dating world is insane. It's so crazy. There's so many apps. Like, how do you navigate through it all, right?
Right.
And then I was like, there's something bigger. There's, how do you create a dating strategy? And the thing is that, okay, well, who am I, right? Because when we met, we met on the show, and dating in your 40s is different than dating in your 20s. And so for me, right, so I thought to myself, okay, well, let's work at like who you are, right? Like, am I dating the right type of people? Like, let me take it from a business standpoint and then put it into a dating strategy, right? So knowing your target market, right? Know who you are, like what your mission statement, your core values, your non-negotiables, because I can guarantee they're different from when you were 20 and now when you're 40.
Exactly.
You probably know it's a lot different.
Yes. Different standards, different everything.
Different everything, because I think you're a little bit more established of who you are and you're good with you. I always say, like, if you come out of a divorce or a breakup, spend some time like on reflection on you, do the self-work and the 8 key areas of your life. And I can get to that assessment that is coming out for the Dating Advisory Board a little bit later. But being able to be the best version of yourself, because I think that if you go into the dating game a little bit too early, you're going to get disappointed, and then you're going to get frustrated. And then you're going to say, oh, you know what? I'm not going to date. Well, you didn't have a clear plan on what you were doing or what you wanted. And I think a lot of people have that issue is, what do I really want? If you actually really mapped it out, like everybody talks about vision, mission mapping, right? In their business or in life, do that in your personal life. What are you, like, you are what you attract. So if you're not in a good space, like, get out of that space, look for help. There's so many different areas. And you can go to the Dating Advisory Board for information on that. But in all seriousness, really look at like who you are. Are you happy with yourself? And what areas would you feel like you need help with?
Right. That's so true. And we met on Good Day DC, actually, just so everybody knows. We were invited by our friend Paul Wharton, who was on the DC Housewives at one point. And he's a great style guru, and he has a modeling agency. And so Paul invited us to come on with one other lady who were all in our 40s and talking about how to date how it is dating in your 40s in DC, because this is definitely a market like no other. That's for sure.
That's an understatement.
So what's your favorite and least favorite aspect as dating as a woman in her 40s? Sorry, my grandson is having a little...
I get it. No, I think I would say that's the least favorite. Oh, I would say you never know, especially on these dating apps, right? You never know if someone else is swiping or your friend swipe this person. You're like, ooh, chance, like, do you stay? Yeah, so this got this cute guy, swipe him, right? And so for me, I just, that would probably be the least kind of thing. Like, oh God, did they like my friend? Did they swipe my friends? Like, how do you know? A lot of these dating apps are tied to Facebook, and they're tied to so that people can do the research also a good thing to see. Hey, I know it. You just gotta stay focused. Okay, you're late. But no, for that, I would say probably that's the least thing is like worried about like, oh man, but I mean, I kind of over it, but like, it is what it is. But, so probably the favorite thing is you get to meet new people. And I always kind of say, don't go into this, I should say, my girlfriend Rita, she's one of my really good friends, says this a lot. Perspective, like, not like that. Not like, but just saying like, okay, like take everything aside. I'm just going to get to the know person as a human, not like writing this whole love story or this potential, just to not know that person as an individual, because it may not have chemistry, but you can still, be friends with that person. I always, because it's a form of networking too. There's a reason why they have like, added these like friend finder or whatever, is because it could become friends with someone and then they may introduce you to someone that it's happened. I know.
It's true. And in fact, the lady that was on with us mentioned that her boyfriend's friend had swiped her or something on Tinder. I forgot what the story was exactly. and he was trying to like holler at her. It's like, what the heck, dude? Like, no, no.
Yeah, and then I think there's also something to be said, because you're seeing it more and more out on social media that, social media is ruining love lives. Like, on Instagram, people going, pick up on DMs and their boyfriends or girlfriends been like, they don't know that person. That means you're going to get mad at them because like some random person DM them. Right. That's a fault, so always mindful of that. But just gotta have like because of the security thing of being self-confident in who you are. That makes a big difference too, especially in any sort of relationship. If you're good with you, then you're good.
Right. That is so true. I mean, you really have to have a good level of self-confidence and self-love, especially dating here, anywhere in general, especially here and in your 40s. And that is no joke.
No, because of the ratio to men to women, I mean, the men definitely have an advantage in the DC area. San Francisco is actually great for women. It's like 5 to 1. Like 5 guys, girl, and that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. I mean, we only need one though. We only need one good man. Like the movie A Few Good Men, we only need one good one.
No, we're good with one.
Yeah, for sure. So I love your look. You chose the perfect hairstyle, and every time I see you, you look like $1,000,000. So how do you get a look that truly represents the mom and businesswoman that you've become?
Well, I had a kind of transformation. Like at one point I kind of looked in the mirror and I saw a ghost of the person who I once was. And I'm like, how do I get back to that, badass woman that I was, growing up, all the hard work in tennis. And I talk a lot about that in my book, the last chapter book called Born to Be Me, is running that last mile in life. Right. And I wasn't that girl who worked really hard. And I was like, what happened to me? So I took time, a couple of years, really kind of reevaluate where my weaknesses were and where my strengths were, and so I've always I used to cut hair, do hair in college. I love doing my own hair. I mean, I don't color it, but I like different styles up and knowing, the bangs, I got the bangs probably like 4 years ago. And then now like, to the side, kind of switching it up, but I keep, just kind of keep it in different styles, straight, curly, up, and so kind of look at the fashion trends on that too. Most of the time, being a single mom and busy entrepreneur, most of the time my hair's up, as I call it, like I have like a samurai, like I put it up here and like I'm done. I'm like, I'm focused when everything's, out there. And I got my bobby pins and I kind of like do kind of fun stuff. But so for me, like hair is a big deal. Trying out different styles is a way to kind of reinvent who you are, because I think it is a reinvention. You are, and know how, like, and I always say, like, careful what kind of haircut you get, right? Because if you can't do it, the way that you want to have it look, you're going to get frustrated with it because, like, well, it looks fine in the salon, but I can't do it. Like, take time to have them show you how to do it.
Right, exactly. I know when I cut my hair about 7 years ago now, it was a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
about what products worked for me, especially because I'm a curly girl too. And it's just like, you know, you just, and at different lengths, different products work and others don't. So it truly is like an experiment to try to figure out what's really going to work. And that makes so much sense that you know how to do your own hair, because this is why I don't know how to do mine. This is the extent of mine. Just wash a little Sebastian product and that's it.
But you know, have long hair. I mean, just is a process. But there's little tricks that you can do. Like I learned, like you separate your hair. You know, so like when you dry it, like I have it here, so I do like this layer first. If I'm curling it, I do very small chunks. Don't curl it or, you know, dry it straight or, you know, and I still have rollers that I use. I actually got back into using them. I hadn't used them in a while. I just used the barrel. So like I'm still messing around with it, trying new stuff. And
well, it's cool, and I love the blonde at the bottom. That's really cool.
You never know. When I grew up, I had blonde hair, and it got darker and I dye it dark. But it is light normally, naturally.
That's pretty cool.
So, but they always used to joke to my mom, like, "How dare you dye your child's hair?" She's like, "I didn't dye it. It's just blonde." It's like a golden brown, you know.
Right.
But so I thought, okay, I'll get back to like how I looked, you know, going back to like back how I was. That was somewhat of the color in my hair, you know, mixed. And so just I have an unbelievable stylist. So I'm very fortunate. I literally drive from Potomac, Maryland to Ashburn, Virginia.
Oh, wow. That's they have to be fabulous for that drive for sure.
They are. I mean, Chris is great. I mean, I love him to death. I mean, so like I always like joke like don't ever cheat on your hairstyle. Right. 20 years there, still going to him. So
yeah, that is so awesome.
Know what's good, stick with it.
Right, for sure. So what are your 5 go-to items in your daily style routine?
Yeah, I think it comes down to what I'm doing for the day. Obviously, if I'm, you know, just hanging out at the house, I do have my signature bracelets or earrings that I have, and it should also be some sort of a conversation starter if you're going to a networking event, like having something unique. And people bring up conversation like, "Oh, that's a cool bracelet," or "That's a cool necklace." Like, where did you get that? And I try to support my friends. I wear a lot of my friends. She makes jewelry. She's unbelievable. Valerie Nemai, a shout out to her. But I wear her stuff a lot, and I get a lot of compliments on it. It's very unique. She makes it. She's a woman entrepreneur, mother, entrepreneur. So I always want to support the women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And then I would say, like, so jeans, shoes are key, right? I would say shoes. You play up the shoes. I invest money in shoes because I will keep them. I still have shoes from 10 years ago. I get them resold because they're classic. You know, the classic pumps that never go out of style. I would say like invest in that. But yeah, those are probably top 5. Yeah, like I mean, normally I'm in yoga pants, but I mean, I'm just gonna say like mommy duty, like going to the gym, run around, because it's just easy and comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. We see a lot of that, and hopefully, well, I mean, yoga pants in nature are not a problem. It's just the way that people wear what they wear with them. Sometimes it becomes an issue. So, and people having to know that a lot of times those yoga pants are very sheer, right? So you have to be careful what you're wearing underneath or not wearing underneath, or if you're covering it, because a nice little show going on back there.
Yeah, you don't want that. That would be bad.
Yeah. I actually saw somebody in Miami walking down the street one day, and literally she had nothing on under her yoga pants or stockings or whatever. It was a show from the front and the back, I'll just say.
Wow. Oh, no, I mean, I have like my go-to, you know, Athleta. I mean, I love Athleta. Like they're awesome.
Yeah.
Or whatever. However you say it, you know what I'm talking about.
I think it's Athleta, something like that. I always mess up Lululemon, whatever.
Lululemon's good for athlete. I mean, but I work out a lot in them too. So I mean, I just find it comfortable. Like I'm like, okay, it makes me want to go to the gym because I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. I got my entire gym outfit on. You know, get your work. You can go. There's no excuse because you're already dressed.
Exactly. Make it simple. Work hard. Work smarter, not harder. Right?
Exactly.
So, how has your style changed from your 30s to your 40s?
That's, interesting. I mean, I've kind of, well, I would say 30 and 40s because my kids were young and when I was in my 30s. So I was more of just trying to like stay awake. So I think it was, I still love the like style pieces, like statement pieces, big into jeans. I've got more back into my rocker days in my 20s. So I would say like I will flip it up. So I have this really cute like leather jacket, leather jacket bomber, and then I put like a really fancy kind of red dress I wore like it was a really cute outfit. But it's kind of like mixing and matching things that you would normally think would go together, like that. I mean, really nice red dress, put on a leather jacket, red lipstick, and you're good to go. Yeah, and it's I think one of my statement pieces that goes pretty much all the time is my red lipsticks. So because it's branding, right? The dating advisory wore red lips, and Google red lips. It does attract men. I can't make up is a true story. And red nails, red lips. Yeah, write that down. Yep. So you got that.
Well, the origin of red lipstick, right? I mean, I don't know if you've heard it, and this is a PG kind of recording. But the origin was, it mimicked another pair of lips that women have. So
yeah,
that's what
I did not know that, but yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Stacey London talked about that when she was here at the Spy Museum, and she was going over the history of the Bond men, how they dress, and the Bond women, and they talked about the red lipstick, and that was the origin of red lipstick.
Oh, interesting. Well, that would make sense.
Yeah. So, there goes.
There you go.
So
good to know.
I know, like that's one of those Jeopardy questions. I don't think they'll ever have that, but whatever. It's a topic of conversation maybe one night. I don't know.
Exactly.
With another guy when you're out,
Yeah. Do you like girls with red lipstick? Yes or no? Check. I want to do a poll in my group. Hey.
Right. See how many people actually know that. Probably not very many.
I don't know.
Maybe artists, I would think, but not sure.
We need more out there.
So any advice to moms like building a business, running from here to there, and building up your wardrobe? Like how do you handle you have 2 boys, right?
Yeah, 2 boys.
2 boys. So yeah, and how do you handle running your business, raising your kids, and managing to still look stylish?
I'm a Virgo, so I like lift. Okay. I'm very organized because I have to be. I mean, I've got so many things going on, but that's always been my world. I've always had, 20 balls up in the air. If I just had one, I'd be like, that's boring. Let me find something, else, because I'm just used to it. That's how I'm pre-programmed.
Right.
So I've always had to have schedules with tennis and everything was back to back. I've always kind of been busy. And so I just have a master calendar that I just make sure everything's updated and just keep it together. And I would say that's, going to bed and getting sleep is key. So you're not tired. Right. And I had one of my friends, she just, especially for moms, especially, packing the lunch, like having the boys pack their lunch now, like, cause you're still in that mom mode, like, oh, let me pack their lunches. No, they themselves, like, right. Like trying to, at least my older one, not my younger one, but, my older one, he gets excited about doing it, just giving them, so I don't feel kind of because we are overwhelmed. You got emails coming in, you got things you got to respond to, you're trying to get the kids breakfast, get them fed, and being a single mom too. I mean, you saw the onus is on you. And so for me, it's just being organized and knowing like schedule for the day. And I think this is important, is writing your list, of what you have planned to do. If you don't say like, I have like 20 things on my list, but if I don't get to all of them, I'm not going to make myself feel bad about it. At least I got to 5 or whatever. So like, just don't, because I think as a women, like we have a tendency, well, you didn't get all that done today. You didn't get enough done. Like what is enough to get done? Like that, like you want to make sure that you celebrate like the things that you did today and, just kind of, generous and grateful place that, you're doing the best you can do. Nobody's there judging you. And if they are, who cares? I mean, no.
It's so true.
It's so true because you're just, like, what are you comparing to? A lot of people have this conversation about Facebook. Like everyone's life is so perfect on Facebook. No, I can tell you mine is not perfect.
No.
I have things that I can't post on social media, right?
Right.
I mean, I can't, but at the same time, it's not, you have to work through those kind of things, but I also have a brand, right? So if I'm posting certain things, it's like, no, what's the point, right?
And you've built an awesome brand. Any tips for moms or women in general building businesses? Like, how do you come up with a brand that really resonates and is authentic for you? And then also, like I said, resonates with other people.
Well, I always look at industries. I was working in the telecom space, like I said, for many years, and it was great. And but I knew I needed a change, and I wanted to make sure I got an industry that wasn't going to have a crash, right? Like, so
Right.
as far as I know, love is still going to be there, relationships are still going to be there, and something that was personal to me. Like, so when people say, "Oh, well, you're single, you're running this," well, yeah, it makes sense to me because I'm learning with everybody else. That's why I bring subject matter experts in different areas. Something that I know I'm looking for answers to, and I'm sure other people are too. So it's more of like giving back to this community. That's what it is.
Yeah.
To help empower women to be best for and live a life of passion, clarity, and conviction. So there wasn't that out there. I found myself back in the dating world. I didn't have that, right? And I knew other women didn't have it either. And they're like, well, that could really help a lot of women out there who don't have a sense of community. Maybe they lost, friends, family. They don't even know how to put their, personal advisory boards together, right? Think about that. Like, who's on your tribe? Or who's in it? Like, who is helping you grow a genuine place? You want to literally annihilate those toxic people from your life. Like, they don't exist, right? I mean, it just doesn't even bother me because I'm so hyper focused on the positive that the negative, it doesn't even it's just someone says something to me, I'm like, doesn't matter, right?
That's so true. Well, and this is real life, right? Like, I have my grandson here, and I wasn't supposed to, and so you just got to roll with things. Like, literally, he just dumped all the pepper into the sugar bowl while I'm sitting here talking to you. So, that's it is what it is.
Yeah, they want your attention. It's cute because I could be sitting upstairs with the boys, and everything's fine. So I go downstairs, or I get a phone call. They don't talk to me for a half hour or where. All of a sudden, hey, mom, I need this. Mom. They know that you're on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to torture the cats. So it's like always something, Anyways, thanks for rolling with me during this. And
it's fine.
What do we do?
No, but that's nothing's perfect. I remember that. Like, there's everyone wants to think that everyone's in this I want this perfect relationship. I want this perfect life. And it's not perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. And you're setting yourself up for failure if you think oh, I'll be fine when I meet this person, or I'll be fine when I get that job, or I'll be fine. No, you're not going to be, because you're not in a place where you can work on you.
Right.
Not hey, let me just wait to Kara and Jen get their life together, and then we're just give this great guy or this great job or this. You have to work for it. Nobody's coming on a white horse trying to save you. I mean, you have to save yourself. And I have so many times I still hear some people say well, I just want someone to come save me and tell me it's going to be okay. It's like, what are you talking about? That doesn't exist.
Right.
That's not reality. I mean, that is literally a movie. It's called Cinderella. Okay.
Right.
Not real.
Yeah. Not happening. You got to save yourself, sister.
Yeah. Yourself, sister. Why don't you start there?
Yep. So do you have it's just, so do you have any events coming up, and tell us about where people can find you, about what amazing things you're doing in the world?
So we just launched Dating in Heels, a lifestyle and dating show. So exciting. With Eve, Monica, and I. Basically, we're talking the same kind of thing we did with the Dating Advisory Board and Sip of Social Lights before, but we've kind of merged it, and we're going to be putting our first event is at Oz Restaurant in Arlington on February 14th. So we are, yeah, so you can come. I would love to have you. So we be fun. So and so we're doing more of these events and starting this new show that we'll be launching in February. So we're really excited. And I do my Monday Facebook Live videos in my group called Let's Get It Together Sisters page. You can go on there. It's a closed group, but you can just submit and then we'll bring it in. But so it's really good. We talk all about helping empower each other, give support. And I'm going to be I do live videos just like we're doing out or via Facebook Live too. So I'm excited about that. What else do I have? Make sure you go to the datingadvisoryboard.com and sign up to the newsletter, because we will be launching certain things that will be coming for these assessments you about in eight key areas of be the best version before you start swiping. Because people say, well, I want your dating strategy, Jen. I want you to help me with it. Okay, but I need you to focus on who you are. All right, let's work on where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and then we'll build a kind of plan around that. So that's launching on February as well. Super excited. So make sure sign up to the newsletter to get more.
That is so awesome. I just love everything that you're up to in the world. I think that your business is great, and we always have a great time every time we
I know. We're on the phone all the time. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. I love it.
The guys and everything that's happening. So I'm so excited for you. I think that's going to be so awesome, and we'll pop that into your email, not your email, in your page, so that people can go right to your website and join the group if they want to, and find out about the new Dating in Heels that's coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be so funny. I mean, it's great. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome too. So, is there anything else that you would love to share for the viewers before we pop off?
I mean, I would just say I think I've got maybe 3 tips, okay, in life and dating. Okay, if you are a single mom out there, or you are creating your business. There's so many times where people will come at you and say, well, you need to be doing this, or you need to be doing that. You need to be on this app. You need to be doing this with your business. You have to trust your intuition, right? Unless you have to listen to you, right? Now you can get advice, but you just take that all into your major plan of what you see yourself doing, right? So I knew I wanted to create the dating advisory board because I knew I wanted to learn more about dating, because now I was single and I wanted to learn more. Right? So for me, like creating that business, people can give me feedback and information, but I'll take it in, just like your training. You have to be coachable in life, right? So now I go in and say, okay, now this would make sense to do, or this would probably not, right? So that would be one thing, is to remember, stay focused on your plan. I had the best advice one of my buddies gave to me. He's like, Jen, you're a dating coach. He goes, no matter what everyone says, like more business or whatever, you're a dating coach. He said, put your blinders on, like you are a horse, and whatever. I'm not a horse racer, so I don't know the terms, but put your blinders on and just run and just go, right? And so and it comes back to staying in your own lane, because too many times people worry, well, so-and-so's doing this, or, my friend's doing this, or they had more success overnight than this, but they don't realize it wasn't overnight success. These people had been working for 4 or 5 years behind the scenes. It just all came up fast because they didn't see it, because that's the best way to launch something or to do it, is just to be like, boom, it's all here. But people think, that they just became successful, or how did their business grow so quickly? Because they put the time into it. There's no shortcut in business, and it takes patience. And building relationships is so key, and reaching out to mentors, reaching out to coaches, because you can't do it all by yourself. Or if you try to, you could, but it's just going to take you longer.
No, it's great to have a community, because you need to have support, even if it's just, when you're like, what the heck am I doing? Somebody to just give you a little pep talk, or give you a tip here and there about something you might need a little help with. We can't do anything by ourselves effectively, really. You can, but you're going to burn yourself out if you don't have some support and help, because we're meant to be that, to interact with each other and support and love each other. So for sure, great tips. I love that.
Thanks. Yeah, I would say, and also make sure that you get your tribe right. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do have to take a really hard look at who you're surrounding yourself with. I always kind of use my as a guide. So like, how is my energy around that person? Like, are they good for, how do they make me feel? Do I feel excited? Do I feel happy? Do I feel energized? Or do I feel deflated? Do I feel hurt or walking on eggshells, or trying to please that person? That second one, no, they don't belong in your life.
Nope. Time to go.
Like sometimes that be a family, too.
Yeah.
So you just have to kind of separate yourself and just not let the negativity, just stay focused and stay positive. People say mean things to you. I always say this too, because, bullying is a big deal. I take it very, I mean, I never thought I would have one at 40, but, yeah. So, but, I just imagine like a mirror, right? Like, so, I mean, cause people say stuff online, you have people write comments or say stuff or text, stuff to you. And it's just a place of, you actually feel bad for them. Like there's someone happy with who they are. But I always say to this, and I wrote this in the book, if you ever come across somebody one-on-one or face-to-face and someone is saying mean things to you, just imagine that you're holding a mirror, that all the negativity is literally bouncing off like right back. Because that's all it is. It's projection, right? They're projecting how happy they are with, their situation where they are, or, maybe, the decisions they made in their life. It has nothing to do with you. And you can't read people like that. I mean, for the most part, like you can't try to tell them, well, no, that's not how it is, because they've already put it in their mind. This is how it is. Right. So just remember, like, especially, how it is. I mean, people will write anything on social media, and Twitter or Instagram or whatever. So just be mindful out there.
Yeah. The trolls are out there, as I like to call them, and they can just, be bold behind their computers and their phones, and don't take it personal. Actually, if you have trolls, that actually means you're doing something right.
I did. I'll tell you something. I had one of my buddies. Do you know Abong Eka? Do you know Abong?
Yes.
Yeah, he's so funny. But he gave a really good advice. He said to me very early on. He's like, that you're doing something right once you got haters.
Yeah, sure.
Then you're doing it. So when it comes, I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. Did I make somebody angry because I'm doing something right or whatever? So I just kind of turn it into a positive. I use a lot of humor in it too. Have to. I mean, some of the stuff is pretty serious, but it's like, really? Like, you don't really mean stuff like that, right? But just try to make it, and I try to make a joke out of it. So like in some way, like come back with it. So.
Yeah, I know. So, well, as we're getting ready to go, I'll just, this is the little person that's been making all the noise. You look at, he's waving. He's like, hey, I'm here.
Hi. How are you, buddy?
Little wild man.
Hi.
He's like, I'm
yeah.
Great. Yeah. I just destroyed the whole house, but that's cool. It's kind of like
so funny.
Men are like that too. Like as soon as we're not paying them any attention, then it's like, hey, let me start annoying you or doing something crazy, right? Our children. Well, Jen, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for spending some time with me to chat. And I will definitely see you on the 14th. And I'm so happy that I can share you with all the viewers, because you have some great information for people to see and be a part of. Look, I just bought this dermatology thing, and he's like already tearing it up. Oh my God. All right. So, so thank you once again, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, thanks so much. All right, have a great day. Bye, buddy.